Hey guys, it's Natalia, and welcome back to Unfiltered Fashion Talks. Today we have the most long-awaited guest, Kiana, with us. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy.
Of course. If anybody doesn't know who you are, give us a little background, although I'm sure most people probably know who you are at this point, but just in case.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Kiana Bonollo. I am a fashion designer, content creator based in Raleigh, North Carolina. I just graduated from North Carolina State University this past May with a degree in fashion design. And right now I'm doing kind of like half content creation, so like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and then half pattern making. So I make patterns, like sewing patterns, and then I sell them on Etsy. So that's what I've been up to.
Love that. So we're gonna get into the questions because I had a lot of people send in specific questions they wanted you to answer and us to go through.
Mhm.
First things first, how did you get started? I feel like that's such a basic question
Yeah.
everybody has to go through, but yeah, how'd you get into fashion? I mean, I know because I watch your videos, but for everybody else, how did
For
you get
those who have
started?
not seen my how I chose my major video.
Exactly, because I've definitely watched that one.
So I've always been into fashion. Like when I was like a little girl, like I loved like sketching. I always brought around like this little sketchbook and drew my horrible, awful sketches
Yes,
in
love
it. And
that.
I would like drape my bed sheets over me and force my mom to take pictures of me and print them out and put it in like a photo book. So I've like always been into fashion, but I kind of like lost my love for fashion throughout high school. As like you're pressured to like go
Hmm.
into more traditional career paths like engineering, lawyer, doctor.
Right.
So I was thinking that I was really going to be into like chemical engineering, and that was my plan until college applications started to get closer, like the deadline to submit. I started like panicking. I was having like this existential crisis of like, oh my goodness, I don't think I want to be a chemical engineer. I'm randomly going to decide to apply for fashion, which like it wasn't super random because I
Right.
still like always liked it. And I was taking an apparel class each year alongside, all the sciencey
Right.
classes. So I still was like keeping up with it, but it just like wasn't my priority. So then last minute I decided to apply to fashion schools. Like I applied to 4 schools, 3 of them are
Hmm.
fashion based programs. And then that's what I did. So thank goodness. I mean, I could go into that story
Yes.
like way further, deeper, but like that's the gist of it. I like
Yeah.
panicked, applied last second, and then decided to do fashion for
That's
college.
so insane because I feel like I always tell people you probably shouldn't very last minute choose to do fashion design because it's a hard career to go into. So it's not like
Yeah.
one of those oh, an easy switch into fashion, but
Yeah.
it was a good switch for you.
Yeah. But also the thing is like I went, among other reasons why I decided to go to
Mhm.
NC State is because if I decided after a year I didn't want to do fashion anymore, I could easily switch my major.
Right. Which was very
Hmm.
smart because yeah, if you
Yeah.
go to a fashion school, there is no way you're switching that major that
Yeah,
easily.
you have to transfer schools and
Yeah.
start all over. So,
Exactly. So, yeah, I guess that kind of answers the question of why you chose traditional college. Because a lot of
mhm.
people are asking about that because I feel like that's such a hot topic of do you need to go to a top fashion
Yeah.
school? Which I don't really think you need to. I know
Yeah,
I
I
did,
agree.
but I just
Mhm.
don't think it's super necessary.
Completely necessary. Even
Exactly.
college, like in general, I don't think it's
Yeah.
like 100% necessary. Like if you are committed and like you're smart and you want to do something, like there's so many resources out there right now to do it yourself. But I mean, I can answer that traditional college question
Yeah.
a little
Go
bit
for
more
it.
because even if like there are so many reasons why I chose to go to traditional college. The
Mhm.
main one, honestly, was just because I wanted like the traditional college experience. Like I wanted to
Right.
go to football games and basketball. Honestly, I didn't go to that many football games, but like I had the opportunity
Right.
to. I went to like tailgates and like hung out with friends and stuff.
Right. Right.
Um, but like I wanted to like be able to join clubs that weren't like related to fashion.
Mhm.
And I wanted to like have like the diversity of people and like meet friends that like their world didn't revolve around fashion, just have like
Right.
like the normal college experience. Also a big thing was like price.
Yes.
I went to an in-state school, so
Right.
the price was far different.
Yes.
Close to home. I live like still right next to my college, and my college is only like less than 30 minutes away from my parents' house.
Oh,
And
dang.
I
Yeah.
love my parents, so
Right.
I wanted to stay close to them. And then also I really like my program. My program's actually a Bachelor of Science. So it's like half like fashion classes. Well, I mean, they're all around textiles, but like
Right.
half like fashion design, fashion management, and then half, or maybe like a little bit less than half, like textile technology, textile chemistry classes. So also kind of a little fallback if I decided I wasn't as creative as I thought I was. I could
Right.
always do something related to like textile science, which I know some people decided they wanted to do, and it was helpful for them to have a major that was a Bachelor of Science.
Right. No, that's so cool. I never even thought about that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Would you say like what were your goals like going into like fashion design, and like has that shifted once you graduated and all that, or are you still kind of on the same track?
For sure. For sure it has shifted. Well, here's my problem is I am so indecisive.
I
For
feel
one.
that.
And two, like I feel like I have dreams and then I don't like go for those dreams. So like like when I was going into college, right? I was gonna do chemistry, and at the last second I was like, no, I'm gonna go for my dreams. I'm gonna do fashion. And so the whole time I was doing fashion design, I was thinking, oh, I can be like a technical designer, or like something more on the technical side of fashion, because like that's what I'm good at. It's not what my dream is, but I feel semi-confident that I could probably get a job doing that, because there are more job openings on like the more technical side of design. So that was my whole plan for college and like when I graduated. And then the pandemic happened. And I started a YouTube channel, and now here I am.
Yeah, which is so crazy that you've managed like in 1 year to like get to where you are. Like, what the heck?
Pandemic, an awful, horrible thing. Like I wish we did not go through that, but like my career came out of it. So I'm thankful I decided to like do that.
Yeah, no, it's like I feel like it was kind of the same thing for me. I feel like the pandemic kind of boosted me, which like I always feel bad about saying that like it was a good thing for me because it was so bad for so many people. But I feel like for so many like creatives, it was such a good time because you just had the time to actually do stuff and, you know, have your outlets and stuff.
You had so much time to actually put effort into what you wanted to do.
Exactly, which was just crazy. But yeah, okay, so now that you're like more of like a YouTuber, I guess I feel so weird like saying that. Do you ever feel weird saying that to people?
Yeah, that's why I say if someone asks me what I do, like if I'm talking to someone I've never met before, I don't say I'm a YouTuber.
I don't either.
What do you say?
I'm always like, well, I'm like a content creator.
Yes.
Like,
on the nose, content creator.
Yeah.
And then I say, well, I start with pattern maker, and then I go to content creator.
Yeah, I'm always like, yeah, I do fashion design and like content creating, but like saying YouTuber sounds so weird. But like it is what we do. It's not, it shouldn't be weird, but for whatever reason, I just feel so weird about it.
I know. Well, it's because I'm sure you've had those like traumatizing experiences before where I've like told someone like I was in fashion design, which is a respectable thing.
Very respectable.
But I've had some like in college when I would tell people I was in fashion design, like some guys would be like, oh, so what do you do? Arts and crafts all day? And I'm like, actually, no.
Oof.
Actually, no.
Absolutely not. Literally, I hate when people underestimate that. Even like with YouTube, I feel like people think it's such an easy thing to just be uploading videos all the time. But I'm like, it takes me so long to upload videos and like edit and do all the things. Like, I feel like people think that I like do my shop and then YouTube is like this cute little thing I do on the side, but I'm like, it's actually pretty 50-50.
Full-time job.
Yeah, it's like a full-time thing. Like it's not like a random little extra hobby at this point.
Yeah. And I need to get better about like being more confident and like saying what I do,
Me too.
So I'm trying to get better. I am trying to get better.
Yeah. I feel like it's hard, especially when you start, like, obviously, like when you're starting and you're smaller, like you don't say that you're a YouTuber if you only have like 100 subscribers. But then, like,
Yeah.
once you start growing, it's like, at what point do you consider yourself like an actual YouTuber? You
Yeah.
know, it's like, I don't know. It's weird. I feel like we're at that point of like, oh, I can actually say I do this for a living.
Yeah. And like
Crazy.
content creation is becoming more like recognized as a job now.
Right. Which,
So
like, thank God.
thankfully. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it is not an easy one. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay. So now that you do like YouTube and all of that type of stuff, like, what are your goals with like fashion design? Like, are you gonna like start a brand one day? I feel like everybody asks you that probably, but I feel like that's
Mhm.
what most people go into fashion design wanting
Yeah, that's
to
everyone's
do.
dream.
Right. So I'm
Right.
like, is that still something that you'd want to do? Or are you more on like the content creating side of it now that you're there?
You know what? So yes and no. Like that was like always like a dream, right? I
Right.
think everyone has that dream.
Right.
And I would love to do that one day, but I haven't even like thought about like what the brand would be, what it would entail, the aesthetic, the
Right.
demographics. Like I haven't even like considered anything about it because that would be years and years down the line for me.
Right.
Because I'm really right now enjoying doing content creation, more like educational sewing videos and like
Yeah.
patterns. I'm having a good time with it, and I'm already, overwhelmed enough, stressed
Yes.
out that I don't need to be trying to do a new business venture in the next few years.
Right.
But yes, it would be a dream of mine to have my own brand. I just have no clue what it would be.
Fair enough. You have time. I'm sure everybody asks you that, but I feel like once
Yeah.
you get into the content creating space, it's such a like fun place to be in that like
Mhm.
sometimes I think about it, I'm like, I wish I could just do content creating and not even have my business, even though I love my
Yeah.
business and I'm gonna continue to do it. But it's like
Yeah.
sometimes I wish I could just take one over the other and not do both because it
I
is
do both.
really
It's two
stressful.
full-time jobs, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel
Yeah.
like content creation is just so much more fun sometimes.
Yeah. It's more like you get to do different things every week with content creation. And I
Exactly.
feel like I'm sure for your business and my pattern making business, like I'm
Right.
always doing, I'm sitting down in front of the computer the whole time. You're probably
Right.
sewing the whole time. And
Exactly.
yeah, it's less
Yeah.
glamorous than
A
people
lot
think it
less
is. Yeah.
glamorous. Yeah. Kind of going off of that, somebody asked like how you stay motivated in terms of like, going through making all the patterns and prototypes and all the things, because that is a whole process. Like that is not an
Yeah.
easy process to go through.
No, especially when I've done like 6 prototypes already and I'm like,
Exactly.
it's still not, but I have to keep prototyping. Like I
Exactly.
can't sell something that's bad.
Right.
Um, Honestly, it is hard to stay motivated just because like no one's sitting here telling me like, come on, you got a deadline, because
Right.
I'm working for myself. But if I don't put things out there, I'm not going to be able to pay my rent. So I am motivated by the
Exactly.
fact that I need to make money to live.
Same.
um, I think the key is for me. So I try to work the same hours as my boyfriend, who has like an 8:30 to 5 or some days 6 o'clock job. So
Mhm.
I try to get up when he gets up and like work a
Right.
regular work day. A lot of days like I'll go over just because again, like it's like basically 2 full-time jobs.
Right.
But getting up early and starting my day definitely helps. Also, I recently got a dog. He's right over there. He's so cute.
So cute.
His name is Hotch. But
I
like
love
he
that.
motivates me because I have to like, I have to walk him
Right.
at 7:30 in the morning, like
Right.
get up, and I have to like care for this life form. So I don't know, he motivates me because I'm like, I gotta make money so I can buy you things, Hotch.
I
And
love
also
that.
like I have to have a schedule for him. But
Right.
it is really hard to be motivated
Yeah.
sometimes. But also thinking about the fact that I'm doing what I love helps a lot.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like I'm the same way. Sometimes I'm in such a rut and I'm like, it would be worse to be having like a normal 9 to 5. So it's fine.
Yeah.
We'll continue to do this. Like it's
Yeah.
good.
Sometimes I have to yell at myself because if
Right.
I'm like, oh, I really don't want to work today, or I don't want to sit in front of the computer for 10 hours today and just pattern, I'm like, get it together. Get it together. You are so
Right.
lucky to be able to do this. So that it really
Exactly.
helps to remind yourself like that you are blessed to have this job.
Yeah, for sure. I think I go through phases of forgetting that, and then I'm like,
Mhm.
I am so dumb. Like, get it
Mhm.
together. I'm like, what are you thinking? Okay, so if you had to choose like one social media over the other, which is your top one? Like TikTok versus Instagram first, and then
Oh, TikTok versus
let's do
Instagram
those two
first.
first. Yeah,
Well, TikTok's so fun.
I know. I love
TikTok,
TikTok.
I love the trends. So
Right.
fun. I
You kill
love
those. Like you were like the
Thanks.
master of turning those into sewing trends. I'm always like trying to think of
Yeah.
them and I'm like, I can't think of anything. And then I log in, I'm like, of course she thought of something. Like so good.
I just think it's fun. I have myself a little timer, a 2 hour TikTok a day timer because I get
Smart.
addicted.
Yeah.
I often find myself ignoring the timer. But sometimes because I scroll just looking for like things I can repurpose into like sewing
Right. Me
videos.
too.
Yeah, but I would have to say, I don't know, but I love taking photos. Photos are my
Exactly.
favorite thing to take. I love photography, and I do the manual
Right.
settings, and then I force my mom to take photos of me or my boyfriend. I love editing
Right.
photos too. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't know what I would choose either, in all honesty. So
Yeah.
I'm always curious to see what people say. Cause I don't know. I obviously like Instagram's like the OG, you know, you can't
Yeah.
hate
And
on
I
it.
hope that Instagram, like, I know everyone's saying like TikTok is the new thing, like
Right.
Instagram's going away. I don't think Instagram's going away.
I don't think so
And I
either.
love Instagram. So I hope it never goes away
I
because there's
know.
not a platform like Instagram that's focused on photos.
Yeah, and I also feel like Instagram is a better like networking platform too. Like I feel like that's where
Yeah.
I've connected with literally like you and like everybody else that I've like interviewed and all the things. Like I feel like that's where I get to actually like have a relationship with people. Whereas like TikTok,
Hmm.
it's more of like a, oh, I see a video, this is funny, I like it,
Yeah,
and then I
let's
scroll past
scroll.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's always
It's a better
interesting.
community. Like
Yeah.
it's a more closely knit community because
Yeah.
your photos don't get like shown to like random people who don't even follow you. So like you can
Exactly.
reply to comments easier and respond to DMs easier on Instagram.
Right, which I love. Okay,
Yeah.
so would you choose TikTok or YouTube? It's a hard one.
I know. Why are you making me choose?
I'm just curious because you do them all, so I'm like, I wonder what you like best.
Well, YouTube is the hardest for sure to
Right,
because TikToks don't take unless you're doing something crazy for TikTok.
right,
Usually they don't take that long to edit, but
right.
YouTube takes me 9 years to edit a
True.
video. So I wish that I didn't have to edit long videos and sit there for multiple days editing a video. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I might have. Oh my gosh, I don't want to. I don't want to say that YouTube. Oh, okay. Maybe I like TikTok more because of all the effort I have to put into YouTube.
Fair. I feel like that's a fair answer. I feel like I don't know what I would choose because I think I honestly watch more YouTube than I do TikTok just because
Hmm.
I have it playing all the time while I'm sewing. Like it is
Yes,
just background noise for me all the
you're a
time.
YouTube sewer.
I am a YouTube sewer
I'm
100%.
um I'm a criminal TV show sewer.
See, I'm not a TV show person. Like I have not watched anything on Netflix. Like I'm not one of those people. I'm a YouTube person through and through. Like I will sit
Wow.
there and watch like everybody's videos, everybody's like podcasts, but like video versions. I watch them all.
Wow.
I've literally probably watched
Wow.
all of YouTube at this point, like giving people their money, you know, giving them
Yeah, I
all the
know you're
monetization.
supporting the creators.
Yeah, you know, giving them the good watch time, all of that. Like,
But I will say, I feel like YouTube also like you connect with people more. Like they get to see
yeah,
like your subscribers get to see like more of who you are. So
yeah.
like it builds deeper connections. So I like that about YouTube.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like that's the one place I can like actually show my personality a little bit more.
Yeah.
Whereas like I don't know, Instagram's kind of like more perfected and TikTok's just kind of like random funny things sometimes or like just
Hmm.
aesthetic fun things, but I feel like you
Yeah.
don't get to see like personality a lot on there. Like I don't think anybody that follows me on TikTok knows anything about me at all. Unless they follow my other platforms, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's interesting. But good thing you don't have to choose between any of them and you can have all three, it's good.
Exactly.
That's the best part of it.
We can do the work for all three.
Exactly, because it is quite a lot of work. Okay, let me read all these. I literally wrote all these questions on a post-it note and they're all like kind of smushed together. And that was not a very smart way of me putting that together because I can't read my handwriting. Okay, somebody asked, what's been the hardest part of your personal growth in your career so far? It's kind of like a deep question.
It's a deep question. I was not prepared to get so
I'm
deep.
so sorry to just throw that.
What is the hardest part of my personal growth?
Yeah, they said personal growth in your career. So like, I don't know. I guess like,
what does that question mean?
I'm trying to decipher that myself in all honesty. Maybe like what?
Okay, I have kind of an answer.
Okay, go for it.
I will say that it's been hard, like going from not being on the internet. Not that I'm like big on the internet, right? But I'm on the internet.
Like you grew like pretty fast.
Yeah, and so it was. I remember posting my first YouTube video and like just having the shakes and like having to sit on the ground and have my boyfriend like comfort me after I posted my first YouTube video, even though like 8 people were gonna see it because no one was subscribed to me yet. Because I was so scared of like what people would think about me. And I know like sometimes people just see people on the internet and then jump to conclusions and then will say like mean things. And I'm a very sensitive person.
Me too.
Yeah. And so having to like build up like the walls and like try to block out like negative comments has been something that I've been continuously trying to do. I feel like things were mostly positive for the first like maybe 50,000 followers. And then every day as you gain more and more people, more negative comments start happening. And I feel like maybe 3 months ago is probably when it like what I was like the most affected by it because I don't know. I feel like once you hit a certain number, people see you less like less of a human being. Right. And so just having to like literally like go online and like research like how to like stay calm and like zen and stuff throughout that and just like become more emotionally strong has been something I've been working on. And I think it's getting a lot better. Also learning when to not read comments after a video hits a certain number of views, done.
Yep. That or like not wanting, I like have such an urge to respond to everybody who leaves me anything that's like maybe not even hate, but they're just like assuming something of me that's untrue. And I'm like, I want to correct them, but then it's like, you're not gonna get into that.
It's like it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. But sometimes it irks me so much that people have all these assumptions and it is rough. I feel like that's been a big thing for me too. It's like reading through comments is really rough. And though like 99% of them are probably really positive and good and nice and wonderful, it's like the 2 comments that will be left, I'll be like, why? It ruins my day straight up. And I'm like, why did I even think about reading that? Like,
and it's like, you have to open the comments because you have to reply to people that care about you and you care about them because like obviously you want to have a good relationship with your followers because like thank you for following me, like I appreciate you. But like off the top of my head I can list so many negative comments and I'd have to think to tell you the more kinder comments. Because your brain remembers the more negative things even though most of them are kind. I remembered all the negative ones.
Oh, me too. I remember all of them from like the past like X amount of years. Like I literally will remember all of them, which is not really great for me, but it's fine.
So working on that is personal growth.
That is personal growth for sure. I feel like mental health is such a hard thing on the internet, and I feel like that's like such a thing you have to kind of go through, and like confidence too. I feel like that's been like a big thing for me, even over the past year. I feel like even though I've been doing this for a very long time, I don't think I ever like hit a confidence point until like this year. I'm like, oh wait, I actually don't really care what people think at this point. Because I think it definitely is hard to get over that hurdle of like caring about people's thoughts, even though they literally don't know you and will never meet you and like doesn't matter. But for whatever reason, we feel like it matters.
It's just learning how to deal with your own your own thoughts, like how you react to things.
Right. And honestly, like I've never gone through your comments, so I'm like genuinely trying to think of what the heck people could be saying to you, because I feel like sewing videos aren't even anything that you could
I know.
possibly hate people on. Like it's not like you're
Yeah, well,
showing
no,
your life
sometimes
and being
people will call me
controversial.
like stupid. People will like be like, "Oh, you're
Um,
stupid," or "That's so
yeah.
ugly. Why would you make that? You're an idiot." Like, and some, I don't know why, but I think a lot of times because I sew, people just assume I sell things. They'd be
Mm,
like, "I would," or sometimes like the personal projects I'll post from years and years ago, like
mhm.
when I didn't really know how to sew. People will be like,
Right.
"Oh, that is awful. If I got something like that, I'd be pissed. I'd sue you." Or sometimes people call me a liar because,
What the
because
heck?
I like, I will like, okay, so like for example, like I work with Michaels sometimes
Mhm.
because I genuinely love shopping at Michaels. And
Right.
so sometimes people think when I post about Michaels, it's automatically an ad.
Mhm.
But no, I'm just like them. I just want to tell you
Right.
certain things. And so people
Yeah.
be like, "You lie, you dirty liar. This is an ad." I'm like, "No." What are
That's
you
so
talking
funny.
about? I'm just trying to help you guys.
Oh my gosh, no, I totally get that. That's so funny though. I feel like Michael's is such a basic like craft store that everybody goes to growing up. Like
Yeah.
it's so normal to be like promoting something from there because it's an accessible place for everybody. Like I don't know why people would
Yeah.
assume that's like, I mean, I get it because you have worked
Yeah.
with them, but also what the heck?
I just don't understand. But it's okay because most of the comments are positive. And if
Exactly.
you are watching and you are a positive person, I love you.
Yes,
I
we
love
do
you
love
guys.
that. We do love that. Do you ever like delete those comments or block them?
Mhm. Oh yes,
Okay.
because here's the thing. People like their argument of why they're commenting negative things, their argument is usually like, this
Mhm.
is a public space. I can comment whatever I want.
Mhm.
Which my argument back to that is actually I don't think it's ever good to be a bully. But
Facts.
like separating also constructive criticism or just criticism in
Right.
general from
Right.
bullying, like you can criticize me, like it's fine as long as you're not being like intentionally malicious. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm fine with
Yes.
being criticized.
Yeah.
But also, so if this is your when you can post whatever you want, fine. But this is also my page, so I can delete whoever I want. So if
Yes.
something is like overboard, which I don't do it a lot, but if it's like overly aggressively hateful, I will delete it and block.
Yes. Yeah. No, I do the same thing, but I feel like I've talked to some people that are like, "Oh, wait, you actually like delete this?" I'm like, "Yeah." Because I think people assume I always have really great comments because I delete the
Mhm.
really bad ones. I'm like, no, I do
Yeah,
get hate comments. I just tend to block those out because
yeah.
I'd
I
rather
try
not.
to block. Yeah, so
Yes,
like so that they won't leave it again. So if someone's just
exactly.
being super mean, then they get a block. But
Yeah.
like I said, like constructive criticism or like regular criticism without the intent of hurting someone is totally
Yes.
fine.
Oh, yeah. And I
Yeah.
feel like, I mean, I think it's sometimes hard to see if there's any sort of malicious intent when it's over like written
Yeah.
text,
So this is what I
but
do. One of my best friends is a sassy person. And
mhm.
so I will try to read the comment in his voice. And because if the comment looks mean, but then I hear it in his voice, it's not mean anymore. So I'm like,
That
oh,
is
it's
so
good.
funny. I love that. That is a very, yeah, I try to like reason with it. I'm like, okay, are they actually giving me constructive criticism? Do they actually want to see me succeed? Or are they just saying this? Because I feel like even with sewing, a lot of people have different ways of doing things, obviously. So some
Mhm.
people are like really set in their ways and like, you're doing this wrong. Like it should be like this. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do things. Like you're not
Yeah.
always right. But sometimes it can be a helpful, like, hey, this is an easier way to do this. And then it's like, oh,
Mhm.
I learned something new. But I don't know. I feel like the sewing community can sometimes be a little sensitive with those things.
Mhm.
But
I just online in general
oh yeah, for
can
sure.
be sensitive. And I'm sensitive too.
Oh, me
I'm part
too.
of the problem being so sensitive.
Me too. I will literally take everything to heart and take it so personally. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah.
It is rough. Um, okay. This is another kind of, I feel like, basic generic question that every fashion designer ever gets asked, but what's your inspiration? Or like where do you get
Oh,
your inspo? are you the mood board type of person, or are you just the come up with something on the spot and make it kind of person? Like, do you have a process, or is it just like a quick little thing?
So, you cannot see it. It's above the camera. So I am, depends. I am a mood
Okay.
board person if I'm doing a collection. I have made a few collections now, and my collections always turn out trash whenever I don't make a mood board, because I just am, I don't know. I need to be more organized. I can't work with my thoughts just in my head. So I need to make a mood board. I need to visualize, and I need to like literally write down things that I'm pulling from the mood board so that I can then sketch. So if I'm doing a full collection or any pieces that have to look good together, I will make a mood board. If I'm making just like one-off pieces, chances are I'm just making that one-off piece because it's something I really want to have, or something I really want to make, or something that's been highly requested. So for those types of things that are one-off, I don't really have inspiration other than making something pretty.
I feel like that's me. I'm not like the mood board type a lot of the times. I'm just like the I want this, so I'm gonna make it kind of type. But I feel like people always expect me to have this really long process of like mood board and sketches and all the things. And I'm like, I did that, in school, but I don't really do that in my daily life anymore.
Yeah. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but the fact that I'm not always super inspired makes me feel like kind of an imposter, because I'm not walking around being like, oh wow, that is so beautiful, I am inspired by those trees.
Oh my gosh.
So I definitely feel some imposter syndrome because of that part of the process.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like I get imposter syndrome 24/7 about it, because I'm like not the super artistic type. Like I feel like I'm also more on the technical side of things rather than like the super creative. Like even when I was like in school, I feel. And I feel such imposter syndrome. Like when I was in school, like at FIT, there's all these like crazy creative people that like are pulling inspiration from these crazy concepts and like doing all these like super cool like avant-garde type deal. And I'm like, I'm just not that kind of person. I appreciate it and I love seeing it, but it's like that's not how my brain works.
That. Yeah.
And
those people are so impressive.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm like,
impressive.
I wish I could be that kind of person, but I'm just like much more like realistic, like ready to wear commercial type person. And I always felt such imposter syndrome about that. And I still do sometimes, because I'm like, I don't know. I like feel weird saying I'm a fashion designer, not being that super artistic type and being more like realistic, but it doesn't actually mean anything.
That's exactly how I feel. So I feel like we are living the same life here.
Yes, absolutely.
Because like whenever I would like present a project like at school, you know how you have your little PowerPoint, and you have your garment, and you go through like your inspiration first. I was always sweating.
Oh,
whenever
me too.
I was talking about the inspiration. I always like made like a little kind of like general script for me to go over, because I was like, I cannot just wing it right now, because what was I inspired by? I don't know. It's kind of a stretch usually.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I literally BS'd my way through all of those presentations. Like I'm literally just made pretty clothes. I'm like, I have zero inspiration, but I'm always like, oh, well, it could have been that. Like I literally made a lot of my mood boards after I made my collection, like trying to piece something together of like making it look like that was my inspo. Like it was definitely not.
Yeah. Well, I think it was great though to go to school and have them like push you like that. And like, especially, I don't know what your program was like, but like sometimes we'd have like random, like really odd prompts. And I was like, what? And so it would like push me to, because sometimes you had to be inspired by a certain thing. Like they give you like a painting to be inspired by, or they give you like an object to be inspired by. And like, you had to derive your garment, your final project from that. And so that was really helpful to me. It was very challenging, but very helpful.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel like that was always like my biggest stressor, was just figuring out what my inspo was going to be, and mood boards and all the things. Even though it's like super fun to make mood boards, but I'm like, a lot of like professors at FIT also just like didn't like for you to have clothes in your mood boards. Like they wanted it. Too.
I think that's a thing.
It probably is, and I guess it makes sense so that you wouldn't be inspired off of like clothing, but rather like things.
Yeah,
but I feel like I
copy.
Yeah, but I feel like for me it's so hard to look at like a building and make a dress out of what I'm seeing in a building. I'm like, I don't know. I find it so difficult, but like I understand it, but like, damn, that was rough.
And also, I think like sometimes like inspirations are more important if you're doing more like artistic pieces.
Right.
Like you're doing ready to wear clothing. I'm doing like ready to wear patterns. So like no one's trying to buy a pattern for a giant snail dress, which I've made.
Exactly.
So I don't need to worry about it too much.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Okay. Last little question, because I don't want to make this too long. I have like such a problem with like sitting and talking to people for way too long and then realizing it's been like 2 hours and I'm like, oh shoot, gotta cut this down. Okay, we kind of talked about future goals and like things you want to do, but are you like wanting to stay where you are? Are you like wanting to like move elsewhere? Like what's that vibe in terms of goals?
This is something that I think about currently a
Yes,
lot.
me too.
Because oh really? Because you're in Indiana. Right
Yeah.
now.
So obviously I will not leave.
Yeah. Oh, obviously.
Obviously.
Okay. Well, I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Right.
Here's the thing. I love my family.
Right.
And well, when I say my family, it's just my mom and my dad over here, but my grandparents are actually moving down. So then they're going to be over here too.
Oh, that's so nice.
I love my family. I love being with my family. And I'm here. I live with my boyfriend, and his family is also 10 minutes down the road. His grandparents and his parents are also here, and he loves his family, and I love his family. So like, I think that we'll probably end up just staying here. He has a job here, and honestly,
makes
since
sense.
I work remote, so like I can go anywhere. I can just follow him anywhere, but I think we want to stay here. And we talked about like maybe moving somewhere fun, like New York, LA, like while we're young. But I don't think I can. I don't think that's my vibe. I think I'm more of a vacation there type of person. And I get stressed out by my surroundings very easily. So I don't think I should be put into a hustling, bustling type of city. I think I like it here. It's calm. If I want to go downtown, I live kind of close to downtown. I live very close to downtown. I'm trying not to give away my location, but I know. I live close to downtown, so I can just always like go to the city of Raleigh, which is nothing like the city of New York, but at least
it's something. Yeah, for sure.
I'm not like in the suburbs, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like if I was in your situation, I'd probably do the same. Like if I had my family, if like my boyfriend has a family and like, you know, it's comfy, it's good. And you do work.
But you're
remote,
trying to get out?
I am, mostly because my parents just moved to Dallas. So I don't even have my parents here anymore. So I'm like, why am I here?
Are you just in your home?
Well, no. Okay. I live by myself. So I have my own like place now.
Oh, okay. I remember watching you like work from your parents' home. Like I watched your like studio tour, but you're gone from that.
I moved out because I knew that they were going to be moving by the end of the year. Like otherwise I probably would have stayed with them because I don't really have a reason to leave. But I knew they were going to be moving by the end of the year because my dad got a new job. So I was like, well, I gotta move out because I'm not gonna go with them to Dallas because I didn't want to do that to myself. So now I'm just sitting here by myself. Well, I have my brother here. I don't want to like say I don't have anybody. My brother is here.
And like, do you have childhood friends and stuff there?
Well, the thing is, they're all in college.
Oh, it's because you were 2 years.
Yeah, so
4 years.
This is like their senior year, so nobody's like in our like town because everybody's on their college towns. So I'm just like really chilling out here by myself, and it's like fine because it's like home and it's like what I've known. But I'm like, I can't do this very long. Like if I had my parents around, that'd be great because when they were here, I spent every single weekend with them, and I was like living my best life because I love my parents.
I know. Now we're at the age now where it's like my parents are my best friends.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
I just want to hang out with my mom all day.
Exactly. Like I spent literally every single Friday, Saturday night with my parents when they were here, but now they're not here, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with my life? Like, dang, I need friends.
So when are you moving?
Oh, I don't know. Moving? I would really like to try out LA since I've already done New York. I feel like I want to test out LA. Also, just because I've never lived somewhere.
You've been going to LA recently too.
Exactly. I've been going out a lot just to like, you know, test out the waters. I've like met up with like people that I've like found on the internet there, which has been really cool. And I also just like really want to live somewhere warm because I've never lived anywhere warm. And I'm like, that would be really cool, really great. What a
Yeah.
concept. So yeah, I don't know. It's expensive though. So I don't know like realistically when I can move, but ideally I would like
Mhm.
to move, in the
Yeah.
relatively near future.
I think
But
that if I, you know what, I don't know, because I always used to want to move to New York. Like
mhm,
that was also a dream that has
right.
now gone out the window. Just because like it's so cool there. But again, like my anxiety levels are too high to
Yeah,
live in a place like that. But maybe if I was like single, I could move there. Like, but
right.
also that's so expensive.
So
I don't
expensive.
want to. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So price, another reason.
Oh,
Staying here.
absolutely.
Staying
I
here.
don't blame you. Like pricing out here in Indiana is wonderful. And that's like the one thing that's like,
Yeah.
I would hate to leave this.
I know. That's why the
But
pricing here is
also,
great too. I watch
yeah.
those like videos on YouTube and like of people talking about their rent. Like I watch like fashion people like
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about their rent living in NYC, and I'm like, oh, my
It's
3 bedroom
crazy.
apartment is half the price of your 1 bedroom.
Literally. No, literally same. I'm like, I would never have this amount of space in
Yeah,
like LA or New York. But,
yeah.
it
But
is
it's
what
just
it
not my
is.
well, it's like good that my personality is not for New York then, because I would be
Yeah.
sad if I wasn't in.
Oh,
Well, I just
yeah.
can't. The stress, I can't. I need to be in a calm place.
No, I think that's like perfect for you. Like if you have everything you need and you're, working from home, you don't really
Mhm.
need to be anywhere else and you can travel
Yeah.
anywhere at any time, which I feel
Yeah,
like
if
is
I
such a
want to
perk.
travel, I can travel, but it's expensive to travel. But hopefully, one of my
Yeah.
best friends is potentially moving to New York. So I'm like, yes, please. I mean, I'm sad to
Yes.
see you go, but I would love for you to move there so I can
Right.
just stay with you.
Yes, having friends in New York comes in such clutch, like literally the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, well, I won't keep you for too much longer then. But thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This was so fun. I've never been on a
Oh my God, I'm
podcast
so
before.
honored that this is the first.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Shout yourself out. Where can people follow you if they don't already, which they should, but
they should. Um, so YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, it is just my name, Kiana Bonollo. And then also you can check me out on Etsy where I sell my sewing patterns, and that is Kiana Bonollo Designs. So I think that's everything.
Love that. Easy, simple. I feel like
Mhm.
mine's never that simple because I have like slight differences between everything, but
Oh, you do?
like the tiniest
Oh.
bit. Because then I also have like my personal versus my brand, and I never know which one I should like shout out first, but that's a personal problem. I don't know. Like I don't know why I did that to myself. But yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.